So how have things been?
Good.
Yeah?
Good. We have an MRI on Monday, so that
right.
will determine our next step.
Next step. So could you give us a little info on the full diagnosis and the progress she's made so far?
Yep, Kaylyn, you have to sit here with Mom. You can't.
You
You want to sit?
Right.
Okay. The diagnosis she has is anaplastic ependoma grade 3.
Okay.
So it's the strongest cancer of that.
Sure.
And they normally treat that kind of cancer with radiation.
Right.
But she's so young that they said 100% will cause brain damage.
Okay.
Because her tumor was 7 centimeters. So it was like this whole side of her brain, which is huge.
Yeah.
So we're trying to treat it with chemo and surgery. And they got all the tumor out, so that's a good step. So we're just, I guess kind of what the doctor said is 10 out of 11 kids that treat it with chemo, it comes back.
Okay.
One kid is cured, so we're just optimistic.
Sure.
But she has had no side effects from the tumor at all, which is amazing. She can walk, talk, as you guys can see. She's
It's just
yeah.
This is just a normal kid.
Yeah, you would, I mean, her scar and she doesn't have hair, but otherwise you wouldn't notice at all,
no, yeah, it's great.
which is amazing.
So, let's see here. How's she been handling everything? How's her?
It's just normal to her.
Yeah.
I actually think that she thinks she's more comfortable here with our hospital family, as I call them, the nurses, and than she is at home because we're here more.
Okay.
Oh,
Like-
so you have a good relationship with the hospital.
Oh, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
we've made a lot of friends, and she's made a lot of friends, so it's like we have 2 families. It's nice.
Sure.
Do you know what's Randy?
Yeah. Let's see. You said the staff you've been very happy
Oh,
with them.
yes. This place is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, we were here for Thanksgiving and Christmas, so both holidays we spent here, and it was the best it could possibly be in the situation. I mean, they had meals for us, Santa Claus came all the time, the nurses on Halloween, which is her birthday, we had to come in because she had a fever and was sick. They all dressed up in costumes, so everyone's great.
Incredible.
She knows a lot of them by name and will say good night, love you when they leave the room. Really cute stuff.
That's great. That's great. So, how would a little bit more of a personal question? This money that we're going to raise, could you tell us what that would mean to her and you and
It
Kaylyn's
would.
strong effort, I guess?
It pretty much make it possible if sometime in the future she's probably going to have radiation, and they don't do the kind of radiation that they give children in Wisconsin. They call it proton radiation, and it's like it beams right to the area instead of
The general.
going through to her brain. So we'll have to go to Chicago Hospital for that. So of course that's way far away from home, and we'll have to stay for anywhere from 3 weeks to 6 weeks, and for checkups. And so I mean that'll pretty much make that possible, because I'm on a leave of absence from my job, so I don't have any income. And I mean, I have to be with her 24 hours a day. She can't go to daycare, and she can't go to daycare for up to a year after treatment too, because her immune system will be completely compromised. So she can't, even after then, it's going to be like a struggle for me to go back to work, and because I'm going to have to find someone, trust someone, come and stay at my home with her and that kind of stuff. So we'll use it for medical costs and that.
So this is the next step for you going forward.
Yeah.
Assuming that she is part of that 10 out of the 11 where it comes back, she
Yeah.
would need this treatment.
Yeah, the next if on Monday when she has her MRI, everything looks clear and there's nothing, no tumors or anything, she'll go to a next step of her last phase of the chemo, which they call transplant. And what it's designed to kill all the rest of the chemo in her body, but it also kills all her bone marrow.
Okay.
So just to give you a little idea of how strong it is, if they didn't give her stem cells back, she would die from it.
Okay.
That's how strong the chemo is. So if she has that, then they'll... What, honey? Are you sitting over there?
Yeah.
Yeah? Are you listening?
I sit in the chair.
You're gonna sit in the chair?
That chair big.
That chair's big?
That chair.
Okay. So then if we go to transplant, they took some of her stem cells before we started chemo.
Sure.
And then they'll just put them back in and she'll have to rebuild up her bone marrow, and that's why her immune system is so weak. But for that step, I mean, her immune system will be non-existent. So a cold for her could turn into pneumonia, and so we'll be in the hospital for they say 6 weeks at a minimum if everything goes well. But they said it's probably usually close to 9 weeks. So that would be the next step in the near future if Monday goes clear. And then after that, she gets scans every month to make sure.
She is still healthy.
Yeah, because I guess I could have told you this earlier. The chemo that she has, the tumor, they got it all out, but it normally grows roots and they can't see them until they turn into tumors. So it looks like she doesn't have any cancer, but they don't know if there's cancer cells in her healthy brain tissue. So that's why it's such a dire need concern. Yeah, because they can't just go take out her whole brain to make sure it's gone. So
Sit there.
you're gonna sit there? Do you want to sit by mom? So it's
What does the support mean to you?
everything to me. Because I mean, I'm with her 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like, all the choices and stuff is all on me. Like at home, I'm pretty much like a home nurse because she has to have IVs and fluids, and she doesn't eat, so she has to have feedings. And that's a lot for one person to take on. I mean, I do have help from family and her dad and stuff, but it's still a lot. And it's that smile when I'm having a hard day, or, and all the prayers and thoughts that people give. And for someone they don't even know, it's just amazing.